Hi everyone, it's summer here in Tasmania in Australia where I am at the moment, so I thought I would do a video on just tips and little ideas on how to keep your small animals cool in the hot weather. Even if you're not in summer now, it's always useful to have these ideas at hand for when it does start to warm up. It relates to bunnies and guinea pigs being kept inside. I think that's the best place to keep them year round anyway, but particularly in the extremes of temperatures like winter, summer, because they're really not equipped to deal with those extreme temperatures. People often use the argument with the rabbits that they live outside naturally, they're equipped to deal with these extremes, but they're not. They actually live in burrows outside, and that underground temperature is a lot more stable than the above ground temperature. And also another argument is that they can move themselves around. If they're free ranging outside, they can find shade. Same with the guinea pigs, but if you've got them in a little pen outside, they're stuck in that place where you put them, and it's really, really easy for them to overheat and they can actually die from heat stress. So I think it's really important to make sure that you are keeping your small animals indoors in extreme temperatures, and that's the best place that you can monitor them, and you can actually help to create the ideal temperature for them. The first thing I give to my bunnies and piggies in the hot weather is frozen water bottles in their area. So I put these bottles of water in the freezer overnight, and then in the morning I bring them out and pop them in their pen, and that's just a nice place for them to lie against to cool their body down that way. And even if they don't lie right against them, where you pop the bottle, the floor all around there will have a nice cool feeling for them. So that's a really handy way for them to easily and quickly cool down. You can also pop ice bricks or ice blocks or pieces of ice in their water bowls, which will give them a source of water to cool them down internally as they drink that. And while we're on the subject of water, it's really important to make sure that they have plenty of water at all times. It's really surprising how much water they drink in summer and in the hot weather. So if you're not going to be home to regularly check on their water and refill as needed, make sure you have multiple bowls or bottles of water around that they can drink from regularly throughout the day, because the last thing you want is them running out of water when they're hot and they have no way of cooling themselves down. So that's another important thing, lots and lots of water, because it is surprising just how much they go through, especially if you have a few bunnies or piggies living together. That will disappear pretty quickly. The other point is that rabbits and guinea pigs can't sweat. Guinea pigs can only sweat through the soles of their feet, so even though they can sweat a little bit, it's not really much of a cooling system. So they can't easily get rid of heat in their body. They do disperse heat through their ears, so just sponging their ears with a cool, wet flannel or cloth is a great way to just help their body to cool down as that blood flows through. You can see the big veins in Billy's ears there. As the blood flows through those ears, it'll carry the cooled blood around the rest of the body, and that's a great way to help them cool down. Also, if you have a fan, sort of circulating through the room, that will also, help them to cool down, as it brushes across the ear, the wet ear. That's going to help cool the body down as well. While we're on the subject of fans, a fan, because they can't sweat, a fan itself is not appropriate to cool down a rabbit or a guinea pig. With we humans, we can sweat. So as we sweat, the fan passes over the sweat and it cools us down that way. But with the rabbits and the guinea pigs, they don't sweat. So they need more than just a fan. They actually need air conditioning. I leave my air conditioning on even when I go out during the summer, because I know that the rabbits and the guinea pigs are still going to be here and they're still going to be hot. So they still need that aircon on. And that is the best way of maintaining their room temperature. If you don't have air conditioning, if you only do have access to a fan to use, number one, make sure that you bunny proof the cord to the fan so that the bunnies won't, or the piggies won't chew it. Number two, to help make that more of an effective cooling mechanism, you can hang a damp towel in front of the fan, and as the air flows through the towel, the water will just help to cool the air temperature down. Again, in front of windows, it's a great idea to hang a cool towel in front of an open window, and that will help to cool the temperature of the room down as well. Make sure that you have your curtains or blinds closed if the sun is coming through that window. You want to block as much of that heat out as you possibly can, and that's just going to help to keep the room cool as well. I have concrete under this floating wooden floor here, so I always have a bit of that exposed to keep as a cool surface for them to lie on. If you don't have any cool surface, you can get ceramic tiles or marble tiles, and these keep their coolness, and they are great for the rabbits and guinea pigs to be able to lie on just to stay cool. Make sure you keep them out of the sun, because if they get sun on them, they're going to get boiling hot. But if you put them in a shaded area of the room, they will keep their coolness, and it's a great thing for the bunnies just to be able to lie on and the piggies to be able to lie on and cool down. Another good tip for helping them to stay cool is feeding them cool treats from the fridge. Now, you don't want to do this too regularly because fruit has a lot of sugar in it, which can upset their digestive balance. They have a very delicate digestion, but just a little small treat of a frozen or just out of the fridge, blueberry, small piece of watermelon, something like that on a really hot day can help them to cool down. Like I said, you don't want to do it too regularly because you really don't want to upset their tummy, but that's just a nice little treat for them that can help them cool down, and they really enjoy it as well. It's important to make sure that you brush out excess hair as well. So if you have long-haired guinea pigs, brush them regularly. You can also trim them as well. They don't need all the excess hair on. You know, if they seem to be getting too hot with that, you can give them a haircut and trim your long-haired guinea pigs. The rabbits, make sure that you brush out the excess hair, otherwise that's just going to hold the heat in. It's not going to allow the heat to escape from their bodies. It's just going to be like insulation that they don't need. So make sure that you regularly, because they do shed a lot in summer, make sure you regularly are brushing out excess hair, and that's going to help them to really stay a lot cooler as well. So I think they're the major tips that I can think of to share with you today. If you do have a rabbit or guinea pig that is suffering from heat stroke, that is having rapid breathing, is not really responding, the most important thing is to move them into a coolish, shaded environment. Never put them in water, never bathe them. They'll go into shock, and that could kill them. So lay them down somewhere cool. Make sure that you gently sponge off their body with, a damp sponge, and call your vet immediately because they need vet treatment. Even if it doesn't seem like they're that bad, it pays to get them into the vet because it's surprising how dehydrated they can get. Your vet will be able to then give them fluids through a drip line and just re-establish their electrolyte levels, which can drop dramatically and be really dangerous. So never leave it if you think your small pet has heat stroke or is affected by the heat. It really pays to get them checked out because it's surprising how quickly small animals can go downhill. Excuse me. So yeah, make sure that if you suspect they're suffering from heat stroke, book them in with your vet as soon as you can. So I hope that was helpful. Let me know in the comments if you have any other tips to add, or if you have any questions. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, like and comment. It means a lot to me and I really appreciate it. And I will see you in my next video. Love and hugs. Bye.